Welcome to the empowering world of Soultalk. People do not remember you for what you are. They do not remember you for what you do. They do not remember you for what you say to them. People remember you for how you make them feel. The following are how people want to feel: beautiful, confident, courageous, clever, feeling they are the best, good-hearted, helpful, lovable, loving, reasonable, special, strong, trustworthy, understanding, wise. Soultalk has motivational programs which bring out the best in people. The programs bring out all of the above qualities that have been mentioned in any human being. These programs have proven results for over 15 years among the youth, students, parents, teachers, university lecturers, managers, civil servants, the police, prison warders, prisoners, soccer players, churchgoers, farmers, and nurses. Other activities include leadership development, team building, diversity management, organizational enrichment, shared values, and coaching. Behind these dynamic and empowering programs is me, Mike Mwendane. And that's because I am committed to help change mindsets and help people to value themselves, to take responsibility, and to leave a legacy behind them.
If your premise is that is Tom, Dick, and Harry, when there's an element of John in it, the conclusion you are going to reach is going to be wrong, isn't it? Yeah. So this is what is happening. I mean, I can mention many of such Tom, Dick, and Harry situations, some very, very serious, upon which we must take decisions, especially as police people. Because some police people, when actually they don't get a conviction, it is because their premise was wrong, isn't it? They just saw someone with a red, jacket, going around the corner running, and they say, yes, he's running because he saw us. So he must be a criminal. So they run after him, whereas there's a criminal lurking behind the tree there. You see, what I'm saying comes from the right place. Ne? I must be open with you, I must be frank with you. Because this does not only happen with the police, it happens even at home. You know, there's a red car that stops at the corner there. And Joe sees this red car the first time. And then Mary, his wife, steps out of that car. He stands at the gate, about 20 houses down the street, isn't it? And then Mary comes, hello, sweetheart. I say, yeah. And then it happens a second time. It happens a third time. It happens a fifth time. He gets tired now. Mary comes. Hello, sweetheart. Yeah, sweetheart. What's happening? Oh, you think I'm a fool, eh? You think I'm a fool? No, what's wrong? No, you're a fool. What is happening? There are red cars that carry people here, up and down. You know? And people think that we don't see. As it happens, there's a small little boy, 19 years old, he's just got himself a starter cap, a starter pack, which is called tax, right? And now he says, Rosemary, you cannot walk when I'm here, and I live down the street from you. Why don't you come into my car and let me take you home? And they go to church together, the family know one another and stuff like that. Is a distant relative. And as it turns out, now Joe gets the story now. And all the stress that has been taking place in the last 5 days, what was it worth? Because he should have reflected. He should have just have asked the first day, how was Kai? In that way, you don't take things for granted. So these things take place all the time. Now that is my foundation, therefore, for bringing in these insights and knowledge that I'm going to share with you. We are going to untangle them. And some of them are very serious. And we are going to untangle them, especially in the police force or the police service. Many people get stress and some commit suicide. Some commit long-term suicide because when you are stressed in life, there is something called the telomeres. You can Google them if you want. Telomeres are what actually keeps the DNA alive, and DNA is what keeps you alive. When these telomeres run off, they get finished and there are only 5,000 of them left. You die. That's it. It's the end of your life. It was discovered, the telomeres were discovered in 1997, and the fact that the telomeres are responsible for your life, for maintaining your life, was discovered in 2008, just now recently. And research is still going on that one. So if you are going to be stressed or entertain people who are complaining next to you, you are eating on your telomeres. Yeah. So, but then I'm just telling you, there are situations that we create ourselves which cause stress to us, and we don't even realize that we are injuring ourselves and we are committing suicide. A long-term suicide is not an immediate suicide where I just hang myself and go. So that is what is happening here. Now, which means then, if our organization has got to be harmonious and dynamic, it means that the bricks or the building blocks must be in good heart. They must be strong, they must be sustaining, and they must be in good order. And the bricks are us in this organization. So we've got to sort out the individual. Let us go into what organization means, because many of us don't even think about it anymore. We're just in an organization, going this way and that way. Organization, the word organization was given to a combination of people like this, stemming from the body, because the body carries organs. That's where the name organization comes from. It actually means behave like organs, organize. That eyes means like. So you must behave like the organs in the body. You know, the organs in the body work so well together. They cooperate so well together. You will never find one organ trying to fight against another organ. It just does it well. You'll never find an organ that tries to do the work of another organ. The stomach wanting to do the work of the head. It can't digest, it can't think. And you will never find in an organization, in a body like mine, 5 organs scheming together against others. And when an organ tries to do that, maybe one organ tries to do that. Maybe the liver sometimes, maybe the breast sometimes, maybe the prostate sometimes, and so forth. It becomes cancerous. So in this organ, in this body, anybody therefore who tries to fight others will become cancerous. And when you are cancerous, there are one of two things that will happen. That cancer is going to be spat out, cut off at the hospital. Or it's going to kill the body. And when the body dies, that organ dies too. And you die even before you have built a house for your children so they can live in after you are born. People don't think about these things. But that is exactly what it means. So when we are in an organization, we must behave, because we are organs of this organization, we must behave like the organs in the body. Keep to our task and communicate with our organs. And in that way, the body will live a long, long time. Some people die at 40 because the organs, one organ is trying to fight other organs. Some people live up to 90, 100. There's a lady in the Northwest who was celebrating her 110th birthday. She still walks like me, like this. She's slightly bent, yes, but she walks like me. She carries her own water. She cuts her own morocco and things like this. Why? Because she has been eating in such a way that no organ tried to fight against others. All her organs were intact. So, do we want this organization to survive? Yes. Then let us keep to our jobs. Let us keep to our functions. And then everything will be honky-dory. You will thrive, you will leave a legacy, and then you give pride to this uniform that we look at with pride ourselves, with envy. So what do we do then? We give information to each individual. That information the individual will use to reflect. Let me just show again what the meaning of reflection is. Ah, yes. In fact, let me not use the example that I use with the youth. I'll use an example that is germane to you. So, two officers are coming out. Let us call them A and B. You know, on the pursuit of criminals. Now, it's very, very important, you know, you use maps in the townships, how to go and move like this and that, where the church, where the school is and stuff, where the hideout is. So both of these officers have got the same information. They've got a map of the township. One just goes into the township and then looks around, takes a corner without even thinking, and then realizes, no, there's a cul-de-sac, and then he comes back to the first spot where he was. And then he resumes his journey into the township or into the suburb. And then there's A. And B turns in, he says, oh, they said there are 4 streets. Have I passed 4 streets now? Let me count again. He counts, yeah. And the 4th street I turn left. And he does that all the way. They said there's a church next door there, and there's a bottle store along the road. Now, who of the 2 officers will find the place of the crime? B, isn't it? Why? Because he asks questions as he goes along and verifies whether the information that he has aligns or is aligned with the information on the ground. Our lives must be run like that. From time to time, we've got to stop, think, and reflect. Reflection simply means that, well, I messed up there. Why did I mess up? What method did I use? Was it the right method? Or there I did not mess up, I did the right thing. What good method did I use so I can use it next time again? So one does that all the time. Every day before I put my head to sleep, every week, on my birthday especially, how was my previous year? Where did I succeed and where did I not succeed? A person who lives like that is a winner. Naranja. But a person who does not reflect, know that those people who live from day to day, and they actually say they're to themselves. So you know, I don't want stress. I don't want stress. I live from day to day. That person is not a winner. He's a loser. Because he does not even have learning experience, nothing. So a reflection, therefore, is what is important. So the information that I'm going to share with you, officers, is going to help us reflect, because it's going to give us a standard. A universal standard is not based on my shaman culture, or on your Afrikaner culture, or Islamic culture. It is a universal method that we can all use as human beings, because that was a standard that was given to us by God. It's called thinking skills. So this is what we're going to use. Now, an organization has got 4 things. Any organization has got 4 things. Structures, systems, skills. I won't say the 4th one now yet. So structures will include things like human resources, publicity, marketing, education, culture, policing, investigation, and then what else? Intelligence, in your case, and stuff. Those are the structures. These are the delivery points. And there are those people who look after your well-being. These are the delivery points. But all of them are charged with the mandate. All of these structures are charged with the mandate of actually fulfilling the overall objective. But each function of those structures cannot accomplish that objective alone. They've got to work with other structures. But for them to work with other structures, they must be aligned. For them to be aligned, they must be coordinated. And the reason being that each structure or each function must know what the other functions are doing at any one time, or all the time, as a matter of fact. If you find that maybe one structure is not giving information to the rest of the structures, there will be a breakdown and dysfunctionality. I am glad now. I was sitting here this morning, and I marveled at this thing. Now, this is the first meeting of the FCS ever. This is a very good beginning, because it creates a platform for people to share information, so as they work tomorrow, they know what the other structures are doing. I think this is innovative. This is powerful. This is how organizations must work. And I'm glad to hear also that they are going to do this with the other smaller organizational formations within the SAPS. We are going places, because this is an essential and imperative condition for success of an organization. And I just beg you, I don't have to, because I can see the enthusiasm around here, and they told me don't complain and stuff like that, but you do raise issues. I have you raising serious issues. So let's not complain. And that also gives me a sense of satisfaction and a sense of glee that there's movement in this organization. So this therefore means that every structure must know they must be coordinated. What coordinates them? What puts them together and align them together? Systems. This meeting, just this meeting is one of those systems, because we are using it to exchange information. And there are other types of systems, like the legal systems. Like the Constitution tells us how we must behave as an organization, and so forth and so forth, and the guidelines, that we have, the procedures that we have in SAPS, managerial functions, other systems, financial systems. We're talking about money here, that how do we handle money to buy vehicles and stuff like that. So we use financial systems to be able to tell each other what is needed, and technical systems, and communication system in digital. But systems are run by people. No, not really. Systems are run by skills. So all of us are employed here on the basis of the skills that we have, because we've got different skills. The commissioner was talking about skills that must be generated or skills that must be fetched from the FET, instead of putting people who have no skills. And that is why the vehicles are not being fixed. Because people put people who have no skills. You can't run a system without skills. So skills is a third element in an organization. And then the fourth one, you can have all these others, these three, good structures, stable, good systems, state of the art, and good skills, sharp skills. But with those, the organization becomes useless. I've got to stand up and go. I must have commitment. I must be committed to doing the job. And commitment is not in the systems, it's not in the structures, and it is not in the skills. When they teach me accounting, they don't teach me resilience. So people, therefore, in an organization must have vision. And vision is to be able to see the future before it arrives. And that means that I must be able to read the configurations of today, that is, things as they stand in relation to one another, and see them playing out into the future. That is what vision is. So you must have vision. Because things may look good to you today, and then you simply take a shortcut and go. Can't do nobody tip here, they break out the asters. So vision, therefore, is more than just seeing things afar. It is to read the configurations. In my flat, I frisk around and not know who to tell. I say, I've read about this guy. He's there on television. He's so ugly. He's so hideous. But what he's saying through his mouth, I mean, just pearls of inspiration, pearls of wisdom. Right, and I looked around. So, and I Googled him. I found him there. There are many stories of him there. And now this guy goes around the world. Motivating people. Holding motivational sessions. In the States, he started something like 28, I think it was 28 or 29 radio stations, inspirational radio stations. Radio stations that inspire people. Playing inspirational songs, some of them religious, some of them just motivational. And then also playing music, inspiring music. He wants people to be inspired. So when I saw him here in South Africa on television, he had come from another state. It was in 1992, I remember. He had come from another state, motivating. He goes to Singapore, he goes to Australia, he goes to New Zealand, he goes to America, he goes to England, and all other places where they can speak English. Inspiring people. And his central message is this. Things will happen, and they will always happen. That is not important. What is important is how you respond to them. Now, when a guy like that tells me, and I'm an able-bodied human being, not quite as handsome as I could be, but not as ugly as he is anyway. But if he tells me that, look here, that's not important. I know people will abuse you. People will say things about you. They will gossip you. They will say all kinds of things. They will plot against you. And then you will go to court and then you will come out, but your name will be besmirched. That's not important. What is important is how you respond even to every one of those things. And I think that is powerful. And I've adopted it and I'm making it my own creed. Because whenever I'm in trouble, I sit down and reflect and ask myself, if W. Mitchell were in this situation, what would he do? And I get answers. Thank you very much. Let us meet tomorrow.
To destroy is materialistic thinking, which is responsible for lack of vision, myopia, reduced productivity, corruption, and demotivation in this country. I use radio, public seminars, workshops, social media, the internet, and correspondence courses to spread this crusade of change. Your organization, whatever organization it is, can benefit immensely in terms of corporate organizational enrichment, as well as social investments programs from Soultalk's programs. And to contact me and my organization, visit our website, which is www.soultalk.co.za. That's how easy it is.